What's up? Y'all know what it is. And let's talk about it right quick. MC Ren. MC Ren. The most abrasive gangster rap I've heard in my life. Ren was brutal. I mean, his rhymes, the ruthless villain, he was definitely that. Oh, his rhymes were hard. And Cube had more finesse to his writing style than Ren. You know, Ren was just straight to the point. But it was vivid and very well done. So, in case you guys didn't know, the original plan was to release single albums for Ice Cube and do a single album for MC Ren. They were going to complete a tour for the albums that were coming up, but Ice Cube got manipulated by Priority Records. And once Brian got to him, Brian Turner saw a way to split up everything. So once that was done, Cube jumped ship, and Dre and Ren became tight. They became more tighter than Cube and Ren. It used to be Cube and Ren. But Ren felt hurt. Cube just got up and left the way he did. And then he bounced. So it was like, man, that's how it was? Alright. So, you know, they were the writers of the group. So those two, them, Doc, you know, they stayed together. Because those were the writers, so they always came up with what they was finna create and all that stuff. So they ended up getting tight, became tight, you know, at that time. But it was always talked about Ren and Q working together, you know, coming up with an album. And when Q was coming back to NWA, and they was gonna do the third album, and they kept getting held up. And, you know, they had to get a new distribution deal because the problem was more, you know, Q problem was Jerry Heller. He didn't want Jerry in the mix. Easy was like, you ain't got to worry about Jerry. You know, Jerry gonna protect my end and that'll be it. You know, but we come back and do this NWA album, Q was gonna want certain things done. And it was more than just Jerry. That was the BS. Cube at that time had his Lynch Mob Records or whatever he had going on at the time. And the Street Knowledge or whatever it was called, Productions, he wanted to make sure he was getting a piece of the pie. He wasn't going to just be an artist on an NWA album. Now, it would be, all the songs would have to say featuring Ice Cube. So that way Cube wouldn't be under the NWA group. He would just be a feature artist and be paid as such. And Cube and Easy never got a chance to iron that part out. Easy said we would work it out. But they had no intentions of bringing Dr. Dre back into the fold. Because if Dre came back, he'll be bringing Suge and Death Row, and that was just not going to happen at no time. At no time. As long as Dre was attached to Death Row, this was never going to happen. So the third NWA album was not going to take off with Ice Cube, and it just wasn't working out. So Cube went on to do some other stuff. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to work on my album. So while Cube is working on his album, Everybody else is, going to work. Easy's doing his thing. Everybody's staying busy trying to create, as Easy's trying to get a new distribution deal. So Ren and Cube didn't get a chance to connect. Then Easy passes and everything happened, and Ren is putting out solo projects. There was a lot of talk about Cube and Ren doing an album together. It was talked about back then. Now it was kind of like, man, we could do an album together. The next thing you know, Cube is like doing his thing with West Side Connection. Then he goes from that to kind of working with Death Row for a little bit. Then he was off that deal. Cube was trying to find what was the best thing for him at the time. So Death Row gave him a suitcase full of money to come up with some songs, and he did a song, Greedy, for the soundtrack of Gridlock, or gang related, one of them. Greed, give it everything that I need. Greed. So Suge wanted him on there and riding with him. Like, okay, we gonna get Ice Cube with Death Row. They paid him for No Vaseline. Put No Vaseline on the soundtrack, the double CD, Death Row CD, whatever, with all the greatest hits. But they wanted to make sure Q was getting paid. So they was going to do some things with him, but then Death Row started to go under at that point. And Q was like, okay, I can't stay here. I ain't no need of me to come over here and start messing around. I got to get back to doing my thing because this ain't working out. So the Ice Cube MC Ren album, fans was like, man, can we get the Cube and Ren album? And right then, Ren was involved in a dispute with Ruthless Records because Tamika was running everything, and Cube and Ren never really had a chance to really sit down and talk. And then next thing you know, 1 year turned to two turned to four, and nobody's really communicating with each other. But when they returned to do a song together, it just blew everybody's minds away. When they did the Rebels song back in like 2014, everybody thought, here we go, we're gonna get the Ice Cube MC Ren album. Then it's Cube don't really want to do that. And now here in 2018, people was like, man, what would be dope? They got an MC Ren, Ice Cube, just make an album. If those two made an album together, it'd be monster. And it would probably be dated material from Ren, but Ren can rhyme. He can rap. He got flow. Cube can flow. They can adjust to the time periods and make any type of rap you want. They can do it. They got the skills to do it. So, what you think about an Ice Cube MC Ren album? Let me know in the comment section. Is that something you want to see? It's your boy Carcino. I'm out. NWA for life.